In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on May 6, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. On Tuesday night, the San Diego Padres and New York Yankees meet in the second game of a 3-game series at Yankee Stadium. San Diego has been hit or miss on the road this year, especially in the starting pitching department. Heading into Monday, the Padres hold a 2.75 earned run average, the best mark in the majors. But the Padres hold a 4.15 earned run average on the road. But Michael King is an exception. He has yet to allow more than 3 runs in a start this year, while holding opponents to 2 runs or fewer in each of his last 4 outings. Entering this series, the Padres have won 5 in a row and are coming off the Pittsburgh Pirates road sweep. New York has not fared well against National League West foes, losing 8 of their last 11. As our first pick for this matchup, the San Diego Padres money line is our full game side pick. Clark Schmidt was scratched from his last start with soreness on his left side, but looks ready for this game at home. He pitched well in 2 prior home starts, and I like both pitchers to have a strong showing, albeit at hitter-friendly Yankee Stadium. Leading into action Monday, the total has gone under in 7 of New York's last 9 home games, and 7 of their last 9 against the Padres. Jackson Merrill is expected back for the Padres, and he is a dangerous hitter, but it will take him a few games to catch up after being out for a month. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Cincinnati Reds versus Atlanta Braves. The Reds and Braves are set to meet again Tuesday night in Atlanta for the second game of their 3-game series. Cincinnati is trying to stay in the mix near the top of the National League Central, guided by new manager Terry Francona. Meanwhile, the Braves are trying to claw their way back to a .500 record, hoping to keep their playoff streak alive for an 8th consecutive season. Atlanta is eyeing a move closer to that even record, and a win over Cincinnati on Tuesday would help. They're probably getting Red starter Andrew Abbott at the right moment. Abbott hasn't made it past the 4th inning in either of his last 2 outings, and he's had trouble with his control. He's issued 9 walks over those 2 starts, which doesn't bode well against a Braves lineup batting .272 at home. Over on the mound for Atlanta, Chris Sale looked sharp his last time out, striking out 10 in a road game. He'll go up against a Reds team that's hitting just .223 against left-handed pitchers this season. Sale has also managed to stretch himself a bit lately, going 5 innings 2 starts ago and then 7 innings in his most recent outing. Cincinnati continues to fall short of expectations, losing 5 of their last 6 games, and they've only managed a single run in their past 2. It's tough to feel confident backing them right now, even though Abbott has been fairly steady overall this year, giving up 6 earned runs and 12 hits over 19 innings. On the flip side, the Braves have looked like a new team since stumbling out to a 5-13 start. With Sale on the bump, they've got reason to believe they can keep rolling. While his season stats haven't been eye-popping, he's only allowed 2 runs or fewer in each of his last 3 starts. Sale seems to be settling in, and when he's locked in, we know what he can do. As our first pick for this matchup, the Atlanta Braves to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In 2 of Sale's last 3 appearances, the Braves have stayed under the total, and it's starting to look like he's finding the form that made him the top pitcher in the National League back in 2024. The Reds aren't doing much damage against lefties, hitting just .223 as a team in those matchups, but the Braves haven't exactly torched left-handers either, managing only a .204 average. Heading into Monday's game against Cincinnati, the Braves have also gone under in 3 of their last 5 games. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus Milwaukee Brewers. On Tuesday night, the Brewers will be back at American Family Field, where they'll take on the Astros. Milwaukee came out on top in the opener of this interleague series, giving them back-to-back wins. Meanwhile, the Astros have dropped their last 2. Both clubs currently sit at an even .500 on the season. The pitchers set to start Game 2 had similar experiences in their last outings. They both pitched fairly well, but didn't get much help from their offenses. That's been a running theme for Parker in particular. Over Over his last 4 starts, the Brewers have only managed to score a total of 7 runs while he's been on the mound, and they've lost all 4 of those games. As for the overall matchup between Houston and Milwaukee, both starters should keep things competitive. And while Houston's bullpen has the better earned run average, they've been shaky on the road. The big issue for the Astros lately has been their offense. It's been all over the place this season, hard to trust, and definitely not something you want to rely on in a tight game. The Brewers have had their own struggles with consistency, but they've managed to steady the ship after a tough start to the season. Lately, they've looked sharp and finally seem to be catching some breaks. The Astros haven't had the best week, and although Wisniewski has done a decent job overall this year, it's tough to feel confident backing Houston unless the odds really make it worthwhile. On the other hand, Patrick has been quietly solid in his rookie season. He's given up just 29 hits and 10 runs over 31.1 innings. At home, he's been even better, posting a 1.69 earned run average and holding hitters to a .211 average across 16 innings. This matchup feels like a moment where the Brewers could start to build some momentum and string together a few wins. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. Game 1 of the series stayed under the total. That lines up with what we've seen lately. The under has hit in the Brewers' last 3 games. Before Game 1, the over had cashed in 7 straight games for the Astros, but that streak ended. Neither Parker nor Wisniewski got any run support in their previous starts, and it wouldn't be surprising to see another low-scoring affair. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Francisco Giants versus Chicago Cubs. The San Francisco Giants are set to face off against the Chicago Cubs on Tuesday, and the game will take place at Wrigley Field. Over the last few years, these two teams have had a somewhat even rivalry. But when it comes to games played in Chicago, it's been mostly one-sided. The Cubs have come out on top in 5 of their last 6 matchups against the Giants at Wrigley. Add to that a win in the first game of this series, and Chicago is now riding a 2-game win streak. With Justin Verlander not pitching at the dominant level he once did, there's a good chance Chicago's offense, arguably the best in baseball, keeps the momentum going and picks up another win over San Francisco. The Cubs have been steady so far this season, especially at home, and they've been getting solid outings from Ben Brown, who's looked sharp whenever he takes the mound at Wrigley. Meanwhile, Verlander has shown some improvement on the mound, but he still hasn't managed to notch a win this season. At this point, I have more confidence in the Cubs lineup when facing right-handers than I do in the Giants' offense. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. Both of these teams have a decent balance between offense and pitching, but lately it's been the bats doing most of the talking. In their last 10 games against each other, the total has gone over in 6 of them, with the average combined runs sitting around 12 per game. With the Giants, they've hit the over in 5 of their last 10 games overall, and they've allowed 21 runs over their last 3 games on the road. As for the Cubs, they've also gone over in 6 of their last 10. And in 7 of those games, they've managed to put up 4 runs or more. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago White Sox versus Kansas City Royals. On Tuesday, the Chicago White Sox are heading into Kauffman Stadium to take on the Kansas City Royals. The Royals have been locked in lately, winning 12 of their last 14 games outright. Out of those 12 wins, 10 have come by multiple runs, which shows just how strong they've been playing. The Bats have been doing their part too. Over the past week, Kansas City's offense has ranked 6th in weighted on base average and 7th in weighted runs created plus, which points to both consistency and productivity. They've also flashed solid power, posting a .217 isolated power figure, 5th best in the league over the same stretch. They'll be up against Schonberg, who's not a pushover, but I still like Kansas City to do enough damage, especially once they get into the White Sox bullpen, which ranks 22nd in the league. As our first pick for this matchup, the Kansas City Royals to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. As for the total, Chicago might not bring enough to the table to push things over. The White Sox are only hitting .217 against right-handers and the same .217 when playing on the road. They're averaging a weak 3.3 runs per game. Seth Lugo has been dominant against their current lineup, limiting them to a .130 batting average, .130 slugging percentage, and a .125 WOBA, while getting swings and misses 28.1% of the time across 46 at-bats. Kansas City has been hot, no doubt, but probably not hot enough to carry the entire run total on their back. Historically, these matchups haven't produced a ton of runs either. The under has hit in 8 of the last 10 meetings between these teams. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.